Hello and welcome to a video on the Planet Zach YouTube channel. Hey guys, I just wanted to give you an update on my channel as well as let you know that I've updated my dream address for my Animal Crossing island. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded much recently. I've been focused on a very intense competition through my college. We had to work with a client to design and print some packaging for a product and then present it in front of a panel of judges, and I just got back from doing that last week, and it's been a lot, and between that and having to deal with allergies, I just didn't feel like it was the appropriate time to be making videos. But that's all over now, and I'm hoping I'll be able to move forward and continue to make videos. In case y'all didn't know, I'm studying graphic arts and printing at my local community college, and I'm only one semester away from graduation, so that should be pretty cool. Now on to the stuff that you probably clicked on the video for. The first order of business, I have updated my Animal Crossing dream address. There is a new dream at this address now, which is a more current update of my island. I have done a few things on my island since releasing this, but I happened to wake up one morning during cherry blossom season, and it was 5 a.m., which is a really peaceful and magical time on Animal Crossing islands, and I decided I would post my dream address and update it. I woke up pretty early and it was cherry blossom season, and my island looked really pretty. It seemed like a really good time for the much needed update. It was long overdue, and I thought the cherry blossom season was a good time to release a little update because it just makes everything so pretty. I really wish the trees would be in bloom for longer. Last year, where I live, the trees were in bloom for basically all of spring. Unfortunately, this year, some cold snaps and rain have kept us from having that many blooms, but I always like trees when they are in bloom because of how pretty they are. I know they bring a lot of allergy symptoms, but last year, despite how long the trees were blooming, I didn't have any problems with my allergies, but I have had a rough time of it this season. Speaking of seasons, while this snapshot update of sorts is set in cherry blossom season, I'm planning to release my island for its final dream address release in the fall, hopefully by my birthday and with any luck during maple leaf season. Moving on to other news, we are approaching what I believe is the 1-year anniversary of me starting to upload videos of Sonic Minecraft maps to my channel. I had an Animal Crossing video out before that, but I was like, I'm just gonna build Sonic stuff in Minecraft, and some of those videos have done really well. Some of them have done less good, but all of them have been fun to make. You can see the entirety of the world. It's just a super flat world where I build all of this Sonic stuff. I had been building the Hero Chow Garden in Minecraft for years, and thanks to the release of the official Sonic Minecraft DLC, I was able to put actual Chow in it for once, which was kind of interesting. But the Minecraft Marketplace world is very hard to build in, and some of the things that I built don't look the same anymore because some of the textures changed. So I started building in vanilla, and it's pretty fun, and I don't use any kind of external editing tools or anything. I just build it one brick at a time. That makes larger builds take a while, but I think it's very worth it for myself personally. I know some people get impatient, but I like to feel like I've accomplished something, you know? In addition to building everything by hand, I also do not use any sort of texture packs, so I just use the textures that came with the game, and I utilize what I think looks best for each build. It may have been nice if they had released a texture pack, like a Sonic texture pack, to go with the Marketplace DLC, like they released the skin pack, but I honestly don't mind using the vanilla textures. It just makes me have to get a little bit creative whenever I want to reference a texture detail from the original games. The only real major drawback of building in the vanilla world instead of in the Marketplace DLC is that I don't have access to things like springs and things like that that appear in the Marketplace DLC. You could place objects like springs and even the clouds and stuff from Sky Sanctuary, but once you placed it, you couldn't get rid of it. Additionally, when I would place enemies, they wouldn't really have any AI, so I don't know why that is, but it just wasn't working out how you would expect. Like the Chow, when you place them, they act like they do when they're in the lab, but everything else, it's like this is here forever and may or may not function the way it's supposed to. The super flat world is pretty shallow, so like I can't build much underground, which has caused a problem or two here and there, but I really like building in this world and I'm going to continue adding on to it. I don't know if you noticed, but the Twinkle Park Pleasure Castle is like the centerpiece. It's almost a theme park in a way, so I really enjoy building it, and so I'm going to continue to do so. As you can see from some of the footage here, nearly every Sonic character that's ever been playable in a game is a skin in the skin pack that came with the Marketplace DLC. And so pretty much any stage played by any character that goes through it is up for grabs, is fair game, so to speak. And so I try to do a variety. I don't just do Sonic all the time. A lot of the time I'll pick a stage that multiple characters go through, and I'll go through that stage as several characters, like I did with Twinkle Park. Here I'm going through my Leaf Storm build with Blaze because Sonic Rush is just a treasure. Believe it or not, there are still Sonic games that I have yet to play, but I'm working on it. I kind of missed a few of them over the years. A lot of the handheld ones I didn't end up playing, either because I didn't have the system or because I didn't know they were around when I did have the system. And a couple of the console ones I skipped over. I was more into Mario Galaxy for a while, which feels wrong, but like Mario Galaxy is a good game. It's like peak Mario. It's one of my top video games of all time, in my favorites. So I hope I can be forgiven for having been distracted from Sonic for a bit. But at this point, I've played at least a version of all of the different mainline console releases, I believe. So I do have a broader knowledge of the franchise as a whole. And make no mistake, liking Sonic and being a Sonic fan are deeply rooted core elements of my personality. We're getting a bit off topic for this segment. The main reason I brought all this up is that I actually have a video in the works where I'm going to be showcasing 4 different pyramid-themed levels because I got a request to do Sandopolis, and I was like, there's a ton of pyramid-based levels, and I'd like to show off at least a few of them, so that'll be super cool, and I hope you'll enjoy that. One final housekeeping thing before we move on to other aspects of my Minecraft content is that I will more than likely be re-releasing some of my older Sonic and Minecraft videos as shorts with just the gameplay and maybe the music, but none of the commentary that I've been putting at the beginning and end. And I will see how well those perform and decide accordingly what to do next. I may put additional Minecraft content on my channel. Like you see, I have this video of me decorating this house. It's actually a video on my channel that this is footage from, and I do stuff like this in Minecraft too sometimes. I may show off my giant mushroom house that I built, and it's pretty cool. I really liked building it, and so I may show that off on here sometime. But for the time being, I'm going to mostly stick to Sonic. I will also probably eventually do more Minecraft Marketplace map reviews. I mostly do furniture maps, but if there's a particular map that y'all want to see, just feel free to chime in with that. I don't get a lot of action in the comment section, but I do occasionally, and the engagement is a lot of fun. So thanks to anybody that decides to comment on my videos. It may be a while before I do another Minecraft Marketplace map review, simply because I do have to pay for the maps that I review, and sometimes they aren't great, but most of the time they're good. But I'm not currently working because I'm in school, so it'll maybe be a minute before I get around to that. As for the Sonic retrospective, I will continue that eventually. I kind of had to step back from it a bit since Frontiers came out, and I kind of wanted to make my opinion known on that. But I will eventually be covering the rest of the games that have come out over the years and give my general thoughts on everything. Those videos don't get a ton of views, it's mostly just for me, and I'm just kind of trying to spark a conversation is all I'm really trying to do. One of the only problems with the retrospective is that I don't have the means to record footage of all of the games, so the decision comes down to, do I play unrelated footage from a different game that is also Sonic based, like I could, I guess, do it over Sonic Speed Simulator footage like this. Mainly, I have been doing it over static images. I know that can get kind of boring though, so if you feel strongly about wanting some kind of footage in the background, whether it's related to the game or not, to kind of stimulate you while you watch it, then just let me know in the comments. I am still trying to figure out this whole thing and figure out what works and everything, so I'm open to constructive criticism. And I guess we might as well talk about Sonic Speed Simulator Reborn. I did check it out. It was basically the same as before, except for there was a lot of stuff that you had to do to unlock areas that had already been accessible if you were a high enough level and had been reborn enough times and all that. And that was kind of weird. It was also kind of weird that it was like the math teacher gives you homework and it's problems 1 through 3, but then problem 1 has A, B, C, D, E, and so on. It's like, that's more than you're making it out to be. And also, while this game does have a ton of Sonic DNA in like its makeup and is a very good adaptation of the format and everything, in a lot of ways I think it's more so than Sonic Frontiers, because I feel like these places exist in Sonic's world, whereas Frontiers locales don't have that iconic Sonic like loop or jive. Like the landscape is more natural and realistic, and that kind of doesn't sell it for me as well. But I still think that Frontiers has value, don't get me wrong, but like this game has a lot in common with Frontiers and still manages to keep the architecture and geometry very consistent with the rest of the series. And it's a shame because there's a lot of mobile game energy in this game. Like everything is microtransactions and you have to collect like a bazillion collectibles to unlock a character, and sometimes there's more than one collectible per challenge, and it's just like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be collecting. Like, I'll collect something and it'll be like, you collected this, and I'll be like, okay, cool, that's one of like 10 things that are available to be collected right now, and it's like just a headache for me, especially when multiple challenges are running at once. So I've personally given up on like getting any of the characters. I gave up as soon as I wasn't able to unlock Amy when the first iteration of this game was around. I was like, yeah, I can't get into this if I have to be on like every week just to unlock the characters. And it's not something I want to play for hours or anything. I'm probably not the target demographic, really. It's probably aimed more at kids, but that only serves to make the monetization system even more abhorrent. I don't personally have the attention span for mobile games anymore. I just like more long-form experiences. I don't watch TikTok. I watch like hour-long deep dives on YouTube. I'm like, I need something that I can just go pretty numb to and just absorb while I might do something else. Like I might watch a deep dive on a fandom I've never heard of while I end up playing Animal Crossing for a good hour or two, and that's my idea of getting the most out of my entertainment. I have learned that most things that demand constant attention are not worth my time. And of course, I hold no ill will towards the creators of Sonic Speed Simulator. I think it's amazing that they managed to be the first people to have a game on the platform sponsored by a AAA studio. It's like, that's an accomplishment in and of itself. And the fact that it's a Sonic game, which is one of the most heavily fan-gamed IPs like of all time, is just boggling to me. It's really cool that people were able to get this up and running. And I can see they're trying to make it have more substance, like they added a story mode. Unfortunately, it went by way too fast for me to read, and there was no voice acting, which I get. They have a lower budget, they aren't going to be able to include voice acting, and having text boxes as dialogue isn't necessarily the worst thing you can do in a game, but the presentation was just way faster than it needed to be, and I don't understand what's going on in the story. So yeah, it's just a whole can of worms, but I really think this game can find an audience, and I think that'll be something that it's able to achieve pretty well. I'm gonna cut off that rant right there, or it'll just go on for way too long. But if you happen to have any suggestions or advice or anything involving my channel, then feel free to chime in the comments. Like I said, I'm open to constructive criticism, feedback, video ideas, that sort of thing. So I just really wanted to have this channel as a place where I can show off things that I've done and talk about things that I'm passionate about. And I don't really care about whether it's quote-unquote successful, because it's really just a place where I can be myself, and that's something that I feel like everybody needs. So I hope you enjoyed listening to me talk about this stuff, and I'm going to leave you with, feel free to visit the dream address on the map if you want to see my island's progress. I'll leave you with this absolutely baffling island that Luna showed me when I asked to have a dream. I don't even know what's going on here. I think it's somebody's storage island or something, but they for some reason decided to upload it to the Dream Suite, so here we are. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.